Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the NWS Atlanta's weekly weather briefing. I'm meteorologist Sid King, and I'll be giving you a rundown on what we can expect in the coming week. Overall, the next week is looking to be fairly benign. To start things off, we have been in a cold snap, and that's going to continue through the overnight hours tonight. We had low temperatures of 28 or less, qualifying as a hard freeze in portions of northwest Georgia this morning, and that's led to the end of the frost freeze program for the season in that area. Frost will still be possible Friday morning through a lot of our area. We do have a fire danger statement in effect today due to relative humidities less than 25% and dry fuels. Temperatures are going to be warming this weekend, and then weather is going to stay benign during that time under high pressure. But a weak cold front is going to approach Tuesday and Wednesday, bringing scattered light showers, but severe weather is not expected. Taking a look at our synoptic pattern, much of the southeast remains under a strong high pressure system. There is a weak surface boundary moving across North Georgia, but there's so little moisture at the lower atmospheric levels that we're not observing any precipitation or any low clouds with it at this time. And the pattern is going to continue into early next week with high pressure staying over the area. Here's a look at our satellite imagery. These clouds moving across North Georgia are all upper level clouds. That's all we're really getting out of that boundary that I mentioned on the previous slide. This morning, low temperatures were down into the upper 20s across most of north and west Georgia, mainly along and north of the I-85 corridor. Many locations there experienced a hard freeze with temperatures of 28 degrees or less. But this afternoon, temperatures are going to rise into the 60s and low 70s across the majority of our forecast area. I'm going to talk a little bit about the frost freeze program. These products are issued in the fall to highlight the first freezes of the cold season. These products continue to be issued until the growing season is declared over. And the growing season is declared over when either minimum temperatures reach 28 or by November 20th, whichever comes first. So in this highlighted area, temperatures were observed at 28 or below this morning, and that would end the frost freeze program in those counties. The program in those counties will resume in the spring. Minimum relative humidity values this afternoon are going to be lower than 25% across our area, even lower than 20% in portions of central Georgia. Wind gusts are too low to be in red flag criteria, only peaking at about 15 miles per hour, but a fire danger statement is in effect across the area until 8 p.m. due to dry fuels and then the aforementioned relative humidity values. Temperatures are expected to remain above freezing tonight. However, a combination of clear skies, light winds, and temperatures of 33 to 36 is favorable for frost formation. A frost advisory may be issued during the overnight period, but would not include the areas I mentioned earlier that have been removed from the frost freeze program. On Friday, we're once again looking at the potential for hazardous fire weather conditions. Relative humidities could drop below 25% in portions of central Georgia. Winds are going to be fairly light though, but we're going to be still looking at the area in south central Georgia for a potential fire danger statement. Going into the weekend, we're going to be well outside of freezing by Saturday morning with lows in the 40s and highs in the 70s. Then on Sunday, once again, it's going to be pleasant, lows in the mid 40s with highs in the upper 70s. So enjoy and take advantage of those weekend weather conditions. As we get into next week, we have the high pressure over the southeast is going to start to move eastward towards the Atlantic coast, and that's going to set up southerly flow and increasing Gulf moisture. Meanwhile, we have a low pressure system over the high plains that's going to be moving to the northeast, and as that moves to the northeast, there's going to be a cold front dropping to the south of it that's going to be moving towards our area in the southeastern United States. Here's how that pattern is going to progress on Tuesday, with the front approaching, a little bit more moisture and rainfall ahead of it, but the front is going to be weakening and becoming more diffuse during that time. So what that means for our rain chances is we're going to be getting about 20% chances of rain on Tuesday, and then once again on Tuesday night, and then about 20-30% chances of rain on Wednesday. Not seeing too much in the way of instability with it. For the most part, rainfall amounts are expected to be less than 1/4 of an inch across the area, with the highest amounts in portions of northwest Georgia. Severe weather and flooding concerns, however, are not expected. At this time, we are not even carrying any thunder in the forecast at this time. Here is our latest drought monitor. We have areas of moderate drought and D2 severe drought that have continued to expand across portions of northeast Georgia. And we expect these drought conditions to continue to worsen over the next week as we have little rainfall totals in the forecast. Some good news as well to end things today is we don't have any tropical cyclones expected over the next 5 days per the National Hurricane Center. And to wrap things up, we continue to stay in a cold snap through the overnight hours. Lows of 28 overnight tonight have led to the end of the frost freeze program in portions of northwest Georgia, but we're expecting the development of frost across a lot of our forecast area tomorrow morning. We have a fire danger statement in effect due to low relative humidities and dry fuels, but we don't have red flag criteria met, and we will be monitoring for fire danger in central Georgia for tomorrow. There will be a warming trend this weekend with benign, pleasant, and seasonal weather until a weak cold front approaches Tuesday and Wednesday, bringing scattered light showers. However, with this system moving through, severe weather and flooding concerns are not expected. And that concludes our weekly weather briefing. Here's our contact information if you ever need to get in touch with us. On behalf of all of our staff here at NWS Atlanta, we'd like to thank you all for your attention, and we hope you have a great week.